Good evening. Welcome to yoga. My name is Danielle. I want to thank you for joining me for this live stream comeback yoga class. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization that meets veterans where they're at, and that means providing classes to you at home. This is a level 2 class, and the only difference that I can really think of to point out about a level 2 class is that there is less instruction than the other classes. If you've ever taken a class with me before, you know that I cue 2 yoga blocks and a yoga strap for practice. You don't have to fret if you don't have those things on hand. You can use couch pillows or even bed pillows if we're using the props to pad the joints. If we're using the blocks to add height underneath your hands, it might work to use a sturdy book. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a necktie, a belt, a towel. And even though this class is going to feel very similar to other yoga classes you've taken before, comeback yoga classes are taught from a trauma-informed perspective. So again, the difference lies in its instruction and in the little tools that we use. For instance, before we even get started, I encourage you to take a look around at your space. Just kind of notice what's close to it. Notice where your exits are. And if there's something you can do to make yourself even 10% more comfortable, do that now. So that might mean facing the exits instead of having your back to the exits. You can have a phone handy if that makes you feel comfortable, but just have it face down so it doesn't distract you as we practice. We're going to start today in a seated position, and this is a great way to use your props. You can make a little perch with your blocks like so. And then when you come down into a seat, your hips are completely supported. So it's a nice option, especially if you have tight hips. Think about pressing your sitting bones down into your blocks, reaching the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And then keep all that length in your spine, relax your shoulders away from your ears. And then the hands can rest where they're comfortable. You can have them in your lap, maybe to your knees. You can have them by your side, maybe to your heart. Begin to tap into the rhythm of your breath. And just observe how you're breathing this evening. If your breath is coming in a bit short or ragged, start to slow it down. And then begin to deepen your breath. Take a slow, steady inhale through your nose, fill your lungs with air. And then open up your mouth and sigh all of your air out. Good. Do another like that. Inhale, fill up to the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Work on finding a rhythm to your breath that you can maintain for the rest of our class. Keep the slow and the steady inhales, and then use your exhales to empty out entirely. Soften your muscles, the hinge of your jaw, and scan your body from head to toe. Take note of any areas that feel tight, tense, or sore. And be mindful of those areas as we begin to move in practice. Okay, take one more inhale here, fill up. Stay for your exhale, let it go. Now from here, drop your right ear to your right shoulder, just enough to feel a stretch to the left side of your neck. If you're getting a good sensation, you can stay right here, but if you would like to deepen, you can take your hand and gently press down on the crown of your head. You can extend your opposite fingertips out to the side. And just know that if dropping your ear to your shoulder is enough of a sensation, to just stay there. Okay, take one more inhale, and exhale, come through center. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Stay here or deepen as you would like. Take an inhale Exhale, come through center. Bring the palms of your hands together and press your thumbs into your sternum. And then take your gaze down, allow a stretch to happen at the back of your neck. Depending on how tight you feel this evening, you might also feel this in the space between your shoulder blades. Okay, take one more inhale. Exhale, return your gaze to center, hands come down. And if you made that perch with your props, place your blocks or props, whatever you're using, up to the top corner of your mat. You might need that a little bit later. And then we'll keep this easy seat. Take the palms of your hands to the tops of your knees and start to take a tiny circle with your torso over your pelvis. You want to start low and slow and use this movement to check in with how your hips and low back are doing. Because every day is different depending on what you did the day before. Good. One more in that direction. And then come through center. Pause when you get there. Change the cross of your legs. Re-lengthen your spine. And then it's an opposite direction with the circle. So tiny little circle in the opposite direction. Hips stay grounded as you go. You can keep your circle slow and small. You can make the circle bigger and faster if it's okay on your hips. You choose. Good. One more in that direction. And come through center. Very nice. Now from here, let's make our way to hands and knees. And we'll set up for tabletop. So tabletop is a nice neutral spine. Think about stacking your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. And then in your next inhale, it's cow pose. Belly lowers and gaze goes forward. On your exhale, it's cat. Round your spine, take your gaze down. Good. Do another inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round your spine for cat. And just start to take the movement on your own breath. You can even stay a bit longer in one of the poses if it gives your spine a nice stretch. Try to make your movement slow, articulated, and linked with your breath. You can stay with the cat-cow breaths. You can take other movements to open up. Sometimes it feels nice to circle your hips or look over your shoulders. There's really no right or wrong. Just go where your body wants to go. If you find a tight spot, stay there for a few breaths. Work it out. Slowly come back to center and take a child's pose. Big toes touch, knees go wide. Send your hips toward your heels. Forehead can rest down to your mat, to one of your props. Or you can do what I like to do. Make a little pillow out of your forearms and rest your forehead there. Consider this your home base. What that means is that this pose is available to you the whole time that we practice. If you become fatigued, if you lose your breath, if I call out a pose and it's not working in your body this evening, know that you can always return to child's pose to reground and to reconnect. One more inhale here. Fill your lungs, the back of your heart with air, and then open up your mouth, sigh all of your air out. Good. Let's press up to hands and knees, and we're going to take our first downward facing dog. Curl your toes, send your hips high, and press your thighs back. And it might feel nice to ease into this first one with movement. Go ahead, walk your dog, maybe sway your hips from side to side. Really try to relax your neck. Nod your head yes a few times, shake it no. Allow the crown of your head to be heavy. And then you're going to walk your hands back towards your feet so that you're at the back of the mat in a forward fold. Keep that soft bend to your knees, or maybe it's a generous bend to your knees, enough to bring your hands down to the mat, or hands can reach up and grab for opposite elbows. You can do this pose in stillness. You can add movement by swaying side to side. It's really up to you. Now is the time to tap into your body and figure out how to best serve it, through stillness or through movement. Going to take one more inhale. Exhale your hands down to the floor. Keep that bend to your knees. Roll up to standing slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are the last to come up. And then we're going to meet at the top of the mat and start to link our breath with movement. On your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Come back to that tabletop flat back. Exhale, fold over your legs and release. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw a circle with your hands. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Shine the crown of your head forward. And then exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw a straight line to your heart. Good. 1 more round. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so adding on. Inhale, your arms up. Exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale, your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, shift forward to plank, the top of a push-up. Pause here. On your exhale, we're going to come down to the floor. You can always bring your knees down first. Everything comes down to the mat. Tops of the feet are flat. And then inhale to a baby cobra. Lift up your chest and roll your shoulder heads back. Exhale, chest down to the mat. Press up through hands and knees. Find downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for your exhale. Let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale to fold. Inhale, your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hinge as your hips fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank. And then exhale, come down, knees lifted or lowered, you choose. Inhale to a cobra pose. Press down on the tops of your feet. Like a wave, lift your chest. Loop your shoulders at the top. Exhale, come down. Find downward facing dog through plank or tabletop, yogi's choice. Take an inhale as we hold. Stay for your exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Good. Inhale, your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, 1 more round, we'll fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for the exhale. Let it go. Good. Come on down to hands and knees. And we're going to do a little bit of shoulder opening here. I'm going to turn this way so you can see from a side view what that looks like. The right leg's going to go long. And at first, you're just going to shift back and forth a few times. And then you're going to take your leg all the way over to the right. You want to make sure that your left hand's underneath your left shoulder. And then reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Bend your elbow, hand behind head. Inhale, spin your chest open. Exhale, bring right elbow to left. Inhale, elbow up to ceiling. Exhale, curl and round. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right fingertips up to the ceiling. Exhale, right hand down, and then right leg's going to come back to center. Lift your right toes up off your mat and reach your left fingertips forward. We're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand and knee come down, around to your cat-cow. Let that go. And then, now you can see the left side. Left leg goes long, toes stay curled. Shift back and forth. This gets the back of your leg, your calf muscle, the arch of your foot. Now take your leg over to the left, right hand under right shoulder, reach left fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then bend left elbow, hand behind head. Inhale, spin your chest open. Exhale, bring your left elbow to your right. Good. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, elbow up to ceiling. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, left fingertips up. Exhale, left hand down, swing the left leg to center, and then lift your left toes up. Reach your right fingertips forward. Pull your low belly up, and then we'll hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand and knee comes down, a round of your cat-cow. Let it go. And then sit back onto your heels and start to shake out your wrists a little bit. Let the fingers kind of be loose. That's a lot of weight on your hands. So let's just loosen the wrists up a little bit. It might feel nice to press your opposite fingers down and you get a stretch from your wrist through the forearm. Do the other side. Shake it out one more time. And let's come back to hands and knees where we'll find our downward facing dog. Hips go high and thighs press back. Inhale and breathe your right leg high and back. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Hold, hover, and round your spine like you would in cat. Inhale your right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, right foot to right thumb lunge. Drop your back heel down so that your left toes point up to the top corner of your mat. And then you're going to come up to a warrior one. Good. Once you get up, adjust your stance. Wiggle your right foot to the edge of your mat. Sit the pinky edge of your back foot down. And then take your gaze forward. Now bring the palms of your hands together. Release your index fingers. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lengthen over to the right. Breathe into your left rib cage. Come back to center. Release your fingertips. Good. Inhale here. And then on your exhale, release your hands into the inside of your front foot. And you'll walk your fingers and your toes over to the left. So your toes are pointing over to the left side of your mat. Inhale, tense your fingertips. Lift up halfway. Exhale, fold over your legs. It might feel nice to use a block here underneath your hands. Shift all of your weight to the ball bones of your feet so that your tailbone's high. Take a soft micro bend to your knees. Allow the crown of your head to be weighted so there's length in the back of your neck. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, start to walk your hands to the top of the mat. Pivot your feet until you're in your lunge. And then right leg to plank. Good. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway. Inhale to your back bend. Offer your heart. So cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale and reach left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, hold, hover, and round your spine. Inhale, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, left foot to left thumb lunge. Back heel drops. Come on up, warrior one, and then adjust your stance. Wiggle your left foot to the edge of your mat. And as you press your right hip forward, send your left hip back. Palms of your hands together, release your index fingers. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lengthen over to the left. Breathe into your right rib cage. Inhale, come back to center, release your fingertips. Exhale, release your hands to the inside of your front foot, and then pivot your feet to the right side of your mat. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Good. As soon as you get situated, lift up halfway. So tense your fingertips, shine the crown of your head forward, and press your thighs back. Now plant your left hand down, twist your right arm open. Come back to center. Plant your right hand down, twist your left arm open. Come back to center. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, walk your hands to the top of the mat. Pivot your feet, you're in your lunge. Plant your hands left leg to plank. You can go through that flow, or you can skip it and press back to down dog. So at this point, we're pretty warm. If you do need to skip a flow, we'll always meet in our downward facing dog. Going to take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for the exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of the mat. Good. And then once you get there, bend your left knee very generously. Bring your left hand down to the floor or to a prop, and then twist your right arm open. So while the left knee has a generous bend, try to work your right leg to straight if you can. If you can't, that's okay too. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center, and then you're going to bend your right knee, hand down to block or the mat. Twist your left arm open. So you're keeping a generous bend to the right knee. You're working the left leg towards straight. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight. You take an inhale. Exhale, your hand down to the mat. Inhale, hands come to shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, your arms up and overhead. And then exhale your hands to your heart. Come to the top of your mat. And then take your left leg, step it wide until all 10 toes point towards the corner of the mat. Tee out your arms and bring your feet wide. And then bend into your right knee and come into a warrior two. Adjust the stance when you get there. So you want the front thigh a bit more parallel to the mat. Tailbone gets heavy. Fingers reach away from you. And shoulder blades drip down your back. Look forward, flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Right arm up and over your ear. Exhale your elbow down to your thigh and your top arm up and over your ear, extended side angle. Good. Now you want to use your elbow as a lever to rotate your chest open. Press down firmly into your back heel. And you're trying to bring your pinky finger up and overhead. It depends on shoulder flexibility. If you look more like this, that's okay. But we're trying to get a little length in that top rib cage. Good. Inhale, reverse your warrior, strong legs. And then exhale back, warrior two. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. All 10 toes point to me. Tee out your arms and then turn your left toes to the back of your mat, warrior two. Once you get there, adjust the stance. Front thigh more parallel, tailbone heavy. Fingers reach away. Shoulder blades drip down your back. Look forward, flip your palm, reverse. Left arm up and over your ear. Back hand can rest lightly on back leg. Exhale, elbow down. Top arm up and over your ear, extended side angle. Rotate your chest towards the side. Engage both feet. And try to find some length on your top rib cage. Inhale, reverse your warrior. There's still a bend to your front knee. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Hands to hips, straighten your front leg. All 10 toes to me. And then I want you to shorten your stance by a footprint. Heels and toes out. Sit down into your hips. Rest your hands on your legs. And sway side to side here. Go slow. Use the movement. Check in with how your hips and low back are doing. And then when you come back to center, reach the crown of your head up to keep length in your spine. Take an inhale, keep that length. Exhale, dip your right shoulder forward, gaze to the left. Come back to center on your inhale. And then exhale, dip your left shoulder forward, gaze to the right. Good. Come back to center on your inhale, hands to heart. And then exhale, splash up and straighten your legs. All 10 toes point to the edge of your mat. And then you can step or hop your feet in. Good. Come to the top of the mat. Shake that out. On your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold. Inhale inhale, flat back. And then exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Good. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for your exhale, let it go. Come on down to hands and knees. Bring your right foot forward and scoot your left leg back. Bring both hands to the inside of your front foot and then turn your right toes over to the edge of the mat. Release your right arm past your right hip. And on your inhale, bring your top arm up and over your ear. And then on your exhale, twist open, bring your gaze past your right thumb. Inhale, top arm sweeps up and over your ear. And then exhale, twist open. One more, inhale. And exhale. Release your hands back to the inside of your front foot. And we're in our lizard lunge. We're going to stay here a little bit. You can use props underneath your hands to make the pose more accessible. Maybe underneath your forearms to deepen your sensation. But once you get yourself situated, take your gaze down to the floor. Take your neck out of the pose. Bring all of your awareness to your right hip. You might notice little pockets that feel stuck or closed. So can you send your breath there? Try to soften those areas with your breath. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, if you are on your forearms, come back to the palms of your hands, and you're going to bring your right foot to center. And then we're going to take a half splits. I really recommend blocks underneath your hands for this. Straighten the right leg, flex your right foot. Start to walk your blocks or your fingertips underneath your shoulders. And then you want to keep length in your spine from your tailbone up to the crown of your head, because when you round your spine in this pose, it takes away to the stretch to the back of your leg, which is what we're targeting right now. Okay, take one more inhale. On your exhale, bend back into your front knee, release your blocks. Plant your hands down and it's right foot to tabletop pause. Walk your fingertips forward. Bring your forehead down to the floor or a prop and keep your hips high in line with your knees. Puppy pose. Notice with every inhale and exhale, chest moving closer to the mat if it's not there already. Now come on down to the floor, all the way down to your belly. We're going to set up for Sphinx Pose. So forearms are flat and parallel. Bring your elbows into your rib cage and drag your fingertips across your mat. And then look over your right shoulder. And come back to center. Look over your left shoulder. And come back to center. Take an inhale here as we hold. And then exhale, lower your chest down to the mat. Slide your hands by your side. Press up through hands and knees. And this time it'll be left leg forward, right leg scoots back. Turn your left toes out to the edge of your mat. And release your left arm past your left hip. Inhale, twist your left arm up and over your ear. Exhale, twist open, gaze past your left thumb. Do it again. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, top arm up and over your ear. Exhale, twist open. Bring both hands to the inside of your front foot. And here we'll hang out in our lizard lunge a bit longer. Remember, you can use blocks to deepen the pose or to support you in the pose if you need. And as you get yourself situated on this side, it might feel a lot different than the first. And that's okay. We're not perfectly symmetrical human beings. We tend to have a tighter, stronger side, and then a more flexible side. In yoga, you really want to honor the difference between the sides. So never muscle or force the tighter, stronger side. Use your breath, use patience, and use gravity to open up. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, if you came down to forearms, come up to the palms of your hands. Wiggle your left leg to center. And then we'll start to straighten the left leg for that half splits. Flex your left foot. Walk your fingers or your blocks underneath your shoulders. Curl your left toes towards your left knee. And then press the left hip forward as you send the left hip back. Notice where the sensation builds here. And send your breath there. If you've lost the breath, come back. Slow, steady inhales to fill up. Full, complete exhales to let go. One more inhale. Exhale, bend into your front knee, release your blocks. Plant your hands to the floor and send your left foot to tabletop. Pause. Hips stay high, fingertips walk forward. Forehead down to the floor, puppy pose. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat for Sphinx. And as soon as you get yourself situated, take the gaze down and start to sway your head back and forth. Give the back of your neck a nice stretch. Do one more on each side just to even it out. When you're done, you can take your gaze back to center. Good. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for your exhale. Sigh it out. All right, we're going to come down, all the way down to the floor. Bring your forearms wide to the edge of your mat like they're goalposts. And then your left knee is going to bend and roll slightly off your mat. Sole of the foot and shin stay flat here. And we're using the floor as our prop. And it will gently open up your hip. If you want more sensation, you can try straightening the leg and see if that turns it on. And it's really up to you. Not every yoga pose is meant to be a big dramatic stretch. Some are meant to rest and restore. So if you want to keep it on the more restorative side with the knee bent, that's fine too. Tap into the rise and the fall of your breath underneath you, knowing that your only job right now is to breathe. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, straighten the left leg back to meet the right. And then left cheek comes down, right knee bends, rolls over to the side. Sole of the foot and the shin can stay flat, or you can straighten your leg for more sensation. Notice when you inhale how your belly rises underneath you, and how when you exhale, your belly relaxes. And just let it be something you can attach your mind to. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, straighten your right leg back to meet your left. Slide your hands by your side. Press up through hands and knees and take a seat. Give your legs a little shake. And then bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall open wide. So we're going to take a forward fold. You can use blocks here to support yourself and make the pose more accessible. You can wedge the blocks to the arches of your feet and on any height, so that when you start to hinge forward, your forehead has a place to rest. Perhaps it's just the one block that you need and on any height, same premise. Or with no props, you'll take an inhale with a nice tall spine, sitting bones down, crown of the head up. And then on your exhale, you'll hinge at your hip creases and fold. To deepen this posture, walk your fingertips away from you and let your spine round. Notice where you're holding your stress. Is it the back of your neck? Is it the space between your shoulder blades? Maybe it's your low back or your hips that feel that tension. Wherever the tension is, try to soften those areas with your breath. Slow and steady inhales to fill up. Full, complete exhales to let go. Take one more inhale here. Fill up. Stay for your exhale. Let it go. Start to walk your fingertips back. Lift up your chest. And then you can close your knees and give your legs a little shake. Good. Now, from the side view, I want you to take your right peace fingers, circle grip your right big toe. Lift up your leg, bend your knee in front of you, and cradle your shin. Good. Just start to rock side to side here. One more opportunity to get into the right hip. And then you're going to cross your right leg on top of your left. And your left arm's going to hug the top knee as the right arm comes behind you for a twist. So the right shoulder rolls open and back. You can take your gaze forward. You can take your gaze center. Or you can take your gaze past your right shoulder. But you want to be mindful of your neck when you twist. So be careful what you choose. Take one more inhale. Exhale, come through center and walk your fingertips over to the left. Tent your fingertips for a counter twist. And let your elbows flare as your chest dips forward. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, come back to center. Give your legs a little shake. Left peace fingers, circle grip, left big toe. Lift leg, bend knee, cradle shin. Rock side to side. Now cross your left leg on top of your right. Your right arm's going to hug the top knee and the left arm goes behind you. Left shoulder rolls open and back. Gaze where the neck feels best. Take an inhale. Exhale, come through center. Walk your fingertips over to the right for that counter twist. Tent your fingertips, dip your chest forward, let your elbows flare. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center, give your legs a little shake. Good. So we're going to come down to our backs, but I'd like you to bring your blocks with you. Place those on either side of your mat, kind of where your knees will end up when you come to lie down on your back. And when you get all the way there, take a good morning stretch. Reach through your fingertips, reach through your toes. Circle out your wrists and circle out your ankles. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat. And then soles of the feet come together, knees fall open wide. The blocks are there to support your knees if your low back and your hips feel tight. If you don't require the props, just place those over to the side where you can reach them. And for this one, you can rest your hands where you're comfortable. I'm a big fan of bringing my hands to my belly, below my belly button in this pose. It is easier for people to stay connected to breath when they can feel it. So you might notice that when you inhale, belly rises underneath your hands. When you exhale, belly lowers and moves away from your hands. And just allow every inhale and exhale to take you a bit deeper into the pose. Feel how the floor and the mat beneath you support you, and allow yourself to rest into that support. You'll take your hands to the outside of your knees, gently close your knees together. The knees stay bent. You'll walk your feet wide and then press your knees in towards each other. All we're doing here is moving our hips in the opposite direction. Feel your feet pressed out into the floor as your legs move in towards each other. And then from here, just add a little windshield wiper of the knees, back and forth, right and left. Go slow here. Slow and controlled movement. Use the movement to check in with how your low back and your hips feel. And the next time that your knees are on your left hand side, let them drop all the way down. And then bring your arms out to the side like a T. Good. From here, it might feel nice to take your gaze away from your knees towards your right thumb. You take it in here. Exhale your knees through center. Drop them to the right. Arms can stay teed out, and then maybe the gaze goes towards your left thumb. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring your knees back to center. Now from here, give your knees a little squeeze. It might feel nice to rock side to side. You can draw some circles on the ceiling with your feet. But adding movement gives your low back a little massage. So feel free to explore that movement. Good, and then you're gonna let go of your knees, let the legs go long, and we're gonna set up for our final pose, which is our rest pose. Take a moment, shift your hair, body, and clothes, get as comfortable as you can in this position. So for some of us, that might mean legs long, but if it's more forgiving on your low back, you can bend your knees and bring your feet flat. Return to your natural and spontaneous breath. The breath that enters and leaves your body without any effort. There's no need to grasp on your breath right now or fixate on it, because right now there is no right way to breathe. Feel how your mat and the floor supports you. The back of your head, the base of your skull gently presses down into the mat and the floor. Feel the weight of your shoulders underneath you. Feel the weight of your glute muscles. Feel your heels press down into the mat. You are supported. What can you soften? What can you let go of? If you have more time to devote to your rest pose, I recommend another 5 to 10 minutes here. But if you're ready to be guided out, begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. and sway your head from side to side. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Roll over to your left or your right side and just pause there briefly. And then use the strength of your top arm to press up to a seat. And as you come up to seated, bring the palms of your hands together. Press your thumbs into your sternum and feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope to see you again next week. Take care.